Bank of England says anyone can get pregnant of any gender identity. They've offered to help staff to pay for gender reassignment treatment, including... Now, this has all been going on in your absence ad nauseum, some might think, this whole gender debate. But this concept that anyone of any gender identity can become pregnant is obviously ludicrous.
I mean, I'm going to start before even opening up into this discussion, talking about, yes, I've been away for 9 months, and I've come back and watched how our entire political debate has become dominated by this tiny, tiny fringe issue. We have this massive moral panic over an issue that affects so few people.
It's not a fringe
while
issue.
The climate is literally, like, the earth is
you can care about the climate, and
while there's a massive cost of living crisis going on. I was honestly just shocked that this is what we're talking about.
You can care about the climate, and you can also care about the full frontal attack on the integrity of women's sport because of transgender athletes. You can care about men rapists being put into female prisons. That cost Nicola Sturgeon her job, by the way. You can care about all those issues too.
And yet,
I would have thought you would have come back and gone, you know what, I've seen the light beers. You're right about this.
And yet, this is what we're talking about. There is a reason that we are talking about this issue rather than the Bank of England just raised interest rates. That's going to mean that millions of families are not going to be able to repay their debt, repay their loans. They're going to be pushed into poverty. And here we are talking about some, absurd thing about whether or not...
I think you've just hit the nail on the head, because shouldn't the Bank of England be more concerned with bringing down inflation rates than, offering their...
Yes!
To be honest, I'm sure this was just some sort of random thing that was...
No, it's not random.
That's
Rosanna, hang on. Bring Rosanna.
Random, but
our economics expert.
If you look at the crux of the issue, this was actually probably a freedom of information request. Stonewall, the Bank of England applied to Stonewall to say, we want to be in your top 100 list of diversity and inclusion sort of index thing. This was last year they made this application. The information has only been revealed now, and I would say that is the Telegraph and other papers capitalising on the argument that the Bank of England has lax monetary policy, and they're trying to make the argument that they've been too focused on diversity.
That it's playing up to cultural Marxists and the woke brigade or whatever.
You can have 120,000 genders, as many as you like. Only women can get pregnant.
But
that's just a biological fact. Only women get pregnant. You can have as many gender debates as you want. You can feel like a mouse for all I care. But you can't actually pretend anyone other than a biological female can have a baby.
Yeah, sure. Only people who are born women can get pregnant.
You accept
people who are born women can also become men.
Not become, they can identify as anything.
They can't become
men can also legitimately become mothers.
They can't become men.
They can.
No, biological men are biological men.
Yeah, I mean, if you are born a woman, you can become a trans man.
They can be a trans man. Let's settle on that. Why do we have to change it?
I mean, I agree. I made this point to you years ago, and I thought we kind of settled it. You have cis women and cis men and trans men. We don't have to get all up in arms about all this stuff. It just doesn't matter that much.
I'm so glad you do still get up in arms about this. I really miss this. Esther, I mean, I agree with you. The Bank of England, get on with fixing the economic crisis.
It's the optics of this that's even more frustrating, because you don't want a news story of the Bank of England, paying for their employees gender transitioning when there are clearly bigger issues at hand here. But I think it's just this obsession with companies that feel like they have to, talk about these issues all the time. I'm just happy for a business to function as a business. I don't need to know their stance on gender identity or anything like that.
Shockingly, I actually agree.